Get it all.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Vactube. I'm your host, Daryl the Derelict, and we have got a special guest with us today, Mr. Star Wars Santa. Welcome to the channel, sir.
Hello, thank you for the invite. I'm happy to end my week getting to talk about Star Wars with some other Star Wars fans. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I appreciate you coming here, and I'm just really looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
And
Me
Darth
too.
Arlena, I did not forget you. I just wanted to introduce our guest first.
Oh, I'm used to it. Leaving me behind. That's okay.
Yeah, we bag on each other all the time, so it's normal for us.
It's fun.
Very.
Got Matt Risman here, Alan Copeland, Robin's here. A lot of people here. We usually have we engage our chat a lot, so I may not do that today, guys. So just giving the chat a heads up. I may not be as engaging with y'all as normal because Star Wars Santa's on limited time with us, so we got to take advantage of every second we can with him. And if you don't mind, sir, give us your background, your Star Wars story. What got you into Star Wars?
Oh, sure. So, Star Wars is the first movie I ever remember seeing in a theater. I was born in 1967. I was 10 years old when the first movie released, and right there in the target audience, right? George Lucas always said it was made for 10-year-olds. I was 10, 1977, and it was a huge event. Everybody knows, like, long lines and all of that. I was 10, so it wasn't, we didn't have social media. I wasn't exactly watching the 6 o'clock news. I was out playing. But my birthday that summer, I remember going to see Star Wars in the theater. And, at that time, it wasn't A New Hope. It was just Star Wars. And it had a big impact on me. It was such a great movie. And I'll never forget that opening sequence with the Tantive 4 coming over and then the Star Destroyer. And it just kept coming and kept coming. And it just kind of blew your mind because at the time, like the Tantive 4 looked like a big spaceship. And then that Star Destroyer comes and it dwarfs it. Like, oh my goodness. And it hooked me right there at the beginning. So I was the right age at the right time for one of the biggest movie events of all time.
No, and I'm right there with you. I was born in '71, and my dad took me to see it at a drive-in a month before my 6th birthday.
Nice.
So I remember standing in the back of the truck, and I just could not get close enough to that screen when the Tantive 4 came over and the Star Destroyer just kept coming and coming. I was just like,
right.
And the whole movie, I was like that. It was just crazy.
Exactly. And when at that time, it was such a big leap, right? Like science fiction movies, space movies.
Oh, yeah.
Star Trek was sort of the standard. And, when you see the Enterprise, dangling on strings outside of a planet, that's sort of what you expected. And when you went in to see Star Wars, it was an entirely different event.
Absolutely, it was. I mean, just George Lucas had such a vision, and it was amazing the technology he created to bring forth as much as he did.
It really is.
I mean, I couldn't imagine if he had the technology of today back then.
Well, what I think today is the volume, right? That stagecraft that they're using is right in line with George Lucas and what he was doing in his garage, literally in his garage, right? What Jon Favreau has done there in evolving that technology at Lucasfilm has been incredible. And I think that's directly in line with what George Lucas was trying to do, where he was headed, what he would have done. But the vision that Favreau brought in developing that then is just tremendous. And that's what I exactly think George Lucas would have been doing, is what John and Dave are doing. They're right in line.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So, what did you think of the prequels when they came out?
Oh, I was super hyped for the Phantom Menace. That was it had been so long since we had any Star Wars, right? Like there was a big gap, and if you count the Ewok cartoons, the droid cartoons, and
Yeah.
of course those the movies that George Lucas made with Caravan of Courage and all of those weren't really. I was the wrong age when those came out.
Yeah.
I was in my late teens, and it was like, that's not for me, right? I just did not enjoy them at all, like none.
Yeah.
So I checked out of that stuff, and I had been in the Army. I had my oldest daughter, and when the Phantom Menace came out, I was super excited. I went out, loved the movie, and then found out that people had complaints about it with Jar Jar, calling it racist and this and that. And there was, I mean, if you were there, like that was a thing. Like I didn't know that Jar Jar was racist until they told me that he was, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yep.
I didn't get that. I think you guys are a little too, too sensitive.
Yeah.
If you're taking that as
Yeah.
racist, like this is fantastic. There were parts of Phantom Menace that weren't great, like when the droids do the Three Stooges bit. I was like, oh, that's Three Stooges. Like that didn't. I was old enough to know what it was. Again, I wasn't a 10-year-old, so a 10-year-old would have no idea who the Three Stooges are. In fact, I would say most people who saw the sequels probably have no clue who the Three Stooges are. Right? You've got to be a certain age to know them. So when I saw the droids do that, I was like, oh, hey, don't do that. But and I didn't care for the bits where Jar Jar was being like Tom and Jerry, the tongue coming out and Qui-Gon
Yeah.
grabbing it.
Mm-hmm.
I was like,
Yeah.
come on, that's Tom and Jerry. But for the most part, loved the movie, loved Qui-Gon, loved Maul, loved
Yes.
the whole thing. I even little Annie, I liked all of it. Again, nitpicky parts that for a dad that I wasn't 10 anymore. I was like, yeah. But then when and so I bought like everything Phantom Menace, like the toys, the video, like the VHS tapes, the deluxe
Oh, yeah.
tape, the collectibles, all that stuff. And then Clone Wars came out, and the wheels came off for me. Right, Clone Wars checked me out hard, and again I was the wrong age, and the droid factory scene was garbage. I didn't like what they did with R2 and C-3PO. The whole movie, there was nothing redeemable about Attack the Clones for me, and it checked me out really hard.
Right.
When the Revenge of the Sith came out, I enjoyed it, but still wasn't over what had happened, and wasn't really engaged with it in a way that brought me back. And
Right.
so the prequels as a whole, for me, it kind of fell off a cliff, and
Oh,
it
wow.
took me a long time to reconnect. And
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it was only through the Clone Wars animated series that helped me. But yet,
Yes.
when I go back and watch the prequels to this day, my annoyance just goes up the more I watch them.
Yeah.
And then with Attack the Clones, and then even Revenge of the Sith, and I get where fans of the prequels come from, But for me, George Lucas didn't bring the best performance out of Hayden Christensen that I would have liked to see. All the complaints about Hayden being wooden and given, wooden dialogue, wooden acting, that's how I feel.
Right.
And I get where people say, well, he would have been that way because of this or that. Well, okay, if that works for you, that's great. Right? And we'll talk about why that matters too. But if that works for you, that's great. I'm glad that you can make that work. And I've tried. I've really tried. For over 20 years, I've tried. But it's just like, oof. Yeah, not my thing.
I can relate with you in that aspect. That's my opinion of the sequels.
Yeah.
It's like it took me out and destroyed me as a fan because I let it. Now there are some aspects of the sequels that they're not bad, and there's a couple of things I do really like.
Yeah,
but
well, for me it's flipped, right? So the sequels, I love them, and I think it's because of having to work so hard to try to enjoy the prequels. That when the sequels came out, and I said this just a couple of days ago in a podcast that's going to come out in a month or so, I said I changed my mental state just to say these movies are what they are. I'm going to accept them, with an open slate. I brought nothing in. No expectations in, no requirements in. I just said, I'm going to take them because the prequels damaged me so bad, right? I was just like, okay, I'm going to accept for whatever. And when they came out, they exceeded my expectations. And I connected with the characters really well, connected with the story really well. And they hooked me with the Force Awakens. And I followed through the story all the way. Now, it's not to say there aren't parts that I'm like, that scene's bad, or I didn't like this. I wish they would have done, right? I have all those things, but for me, it's the inverse of the prequels, right? So I'm able to enjoy them at a much greater level. And they came out when my youngest daughter was the right age. And so I was able to go to the movies with her. She loves them. She loves them. And
that's awesome.
I got to experience them with her, right? And she's funny because she said, Dad, I don't understand why you don't like the prequels. They're my favorite. I'm like, shut up, go away. She doesn't like the original trilogy. The original trilogy is her least favorite. And I think it's because she's the age where when our minds were blown, she's like, it's old tech, right? Like, it's not all that, and so visually for her it's not as stunning, and it didn't do for her what it did for us. But she loves the sequels, she loves the prequels, and I got to experience those with her in the theater, and those are memories that a dad and daughter will carry on forever.
Absolutely.
Great. Yeah,
absolutely. And see, that's just so funny because word for word what you said about the sequels is how I feel about the prequels. I went in with no expectations because I knew it was all that happened before.
Yeah.
So I didn't compare it with the original trilogy like most people did.
Yeah.
And so I absolutely love them.
Yeah, I just wish that I had done that. I just got really mad at them, and I shouldn't have. But it's just, I wish I could have come in and just let them happen. But like, I go back to that droid factory, and even the Battle of Geonosis at the end, and I think back to the original trilogy, and I think, well, R2 didn't have thrusters. He couldn't fly around. He took a bath at Dagobah. Why'd he do that? He took a header off of Jabba's sail barge. Why'd he do that? Chewbacca had to work to get C-3PO's head on and get it working when obviously it's just plug and play. You just pop it on a droid and it works. Like, I was like, oh, you guys are killing me, right? Like, and the graphics I don't think stand up. And so for me, I was like, oh, the acting's wooden. the CGI doesn't hold up, and at the time, George was doing stuff on the edge. Again, I think we talked about that with the original trilogy. Like, he blew it away, right? He completely set a new standard. It's like when Michael Phelps or whatever blows away a world record by so far, right? Like, he's a whole pool ahead of everybody else. That was George Lucas, right? He's a whole pool ahead of everybody else. And it completely changed filmmaking forever. And then the prequels came along and he did the same thing. But now with Jurassic Park and things that came, after and where it's gone, you go back and watch it. It doesn't hold. Oh
yeah, I completely understand your point. I really do. I mean, I hate sand. It's coarse. It gets everywhere.
And the flirting between Anakin
I'm sorry,
and Padme, it's funny when I watch movies with my daughter and there's cringy scenes, she's just like, "Oh, I can't watch. And I feel like that when Anakin and Padme, Anakin's trying to flirt with her, I'm like, "Oh, make it stop. Like, could we just stop?" Like,
that's the best part of the movie. What do you mean?
No. I just can't. I'm like, oh my goodness. Oh my. Oh, that's funny.
Oh, Novak says it's a good thing Meg's not here.
Yeah, it is. She harasses me in a terrible way.
We're all good. I mean, I am glad that for the people who love the sequels, because they found something of Star Wars that they love, and that they connect.
That's what I said about the prequels, right? I wish that I had engaged with them differently. I wish that I could enjoy them the way people today do, and they defend them. I'm like, oh, I want so bad, and I've tried so hard for 20 years, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I say about folks with the sequels. Look, I enjoyed them, and do I think that folks 20 years from now will change their attitude on it? No. My attitude on the prequels has softened, but it's not reversed. I don't like, oh, those are the greatest movies. So I don't think people will ever change, like polarity, right? They weren't going to go from, I hated them, they're the worst Star Wars for me, to, well, actually, I like them now. I don't think that'll happen, because it didn't happen to me with the prequels.
Right.
But my hatred or my dislike of them has decreased so much now that I can watch them and appreciate them for what they are, even though the same things still annoy me.
Right.
Even though there's some headcanon that I can connect the dots, and the Clone Wars has helped fill in some of the parts that didn't work.
It's done that for a lot of people.
All of that helps.
Yeah.
But it doesn't change it, right? It doesn't make me love them. And so I don't think people will do that with the sequels. And I keep hearing 20 years from now, the sequels will be loved. Well, they probably will. Like my daughter's age and younger, absolutely. They'll be like, well, these are great. We love them. But will it change for you? No, I don't think it will.
Yeah.
No.
I think Darth Arlena had a similar experience with the Clone Wars.
Yeah, for me, the Clone Wars really added so much more depth to the story of the prequels, and I liked the prequels. My favorite one is Revenge of the Sith, but I didn't love them until the Clone Wars came out. When the Clone Wars animated series came out, I just fell in love with this prequels, because it added so much to the story and gave you so much more depth. And I still say to this day that the Clone Wars is some of the best writing in Star Wars.
Well, okay.
not Attack of the Clones, but the Clone Wars, the cartoon.
Oh yeah, the cartoon is. I love the cartoon, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
In fact, for me, I can just watch the Phantom Menace, and then ignore the other two movies entirely, and just watch Clone Wars. I'll let that finish the story, and I'm good. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't need, I don't need Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith to fill the story out for me. Now,
Right.
that being said, there are parts of the Revenge of the Sith that are sort of needed, but at the same time,
Yeah.
like, not, I don't feel like I have to have them. But the Clone Wars, I love them. And I agree. I think some of the
I
Clone
love
Wars
it.
episodes are the best Star Wars there is. Period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some good. It took me a long time to get into the Clone Wars because I didn't dig the animation. I was
Right.
like, "What is this?" Well, it's aimed at kids. I'll just let the
Yeah.
kids watch it, and they'll be fine. My son loves it,
Yeah.
and
Well,
you know,
Well,
he's
it
like,
really
"Dad, you got to
wasn't
watch it."
aimed
And I'm
at
like,
kids.
When it first
Yeah.
started, you can kind of see it like that chalky looking wireframe, like animated, like their puppet. Like those first few episodes in the movie looked like animated puppets, and I was like, ugh. But it evolves and it gets better. And like you, Daryl,
Yeah.
it took me some time, but it kind of gets into its stride. And once it does, oh,
"Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm still in the midst of watching it. I'm a terrible fan.
Mhm.
I started watching it about a year ago,
oh,
and I'm just up to season 4.
that's pretty cool because my best friend was a huge Star Wars fan. He's our age. He's probably closer to your age than me, but he checked out when they killed Chewbacca in the novels. He loves the
Oh,
prequels. He
Oh,
read
wow.
every single novel there was.
oh,
But when they killed Chewbacca, he got mad. I mean, mad. And he checked out. He got rid of his books. He got, he quit buying stuff. And he was done.
Wow.
He said, I am done with Lucasfilm.
Complete.
They can take a hike. I'm finished. And it took a long time. I took him to see the sequels with me. And he didn't like Last Jedi either. But he was like, okay, whatever. And I just got him talked into watching the Clone Wars, like
oh, nice.
6 months ago, 8 months ago, and he's about where you are, Daryl. He's right into season 4, starting season 5. He's exactly where you are, and it took a lot of talking to get him to watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like once you start
Was-
watching, get past the first couple, it's like it just starts snowballing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you watch
And for
15
me,
of
it
them. You're like,
was. Yeah, for me, it was much like you, Star Wars Santa. My kids were the perfect age when the prequels came out. And then my son, who is the biggest Star Wars fan besides me, he was the perfect age when Clone Wars, the animated series, came out. So that was his first love, was the animated series. And then he saw the movies and he thought it was just the best thing ever.
Yeah, it's neat. It's really neat how that our children have that kind of impact on us.
yeah, it changes our perspective on what we would normally not like.
It really does. Hey, Echo Base is here. Good to see you guys.
Hey,
Oh,
Hello.
my
How you
friends
doing?
over EBN. Good to see you guys.
I wonder if it's
I-
Nick or Coach.
I assume it's Coach, but it could be Nick. So it's a crapshoot, but I'm leaning towards Coach. Thank you, brother.
Those guys were great. They treated me really, really well. And I've got that poster. I keep looking for a frame because the dimensions of that poster are kind of wonky for the Luke and Grogu poster.
Oh yeah, that's my
One of
screen
the-
saver on my
one
phone.
of the EBN folks sent me that poster. It was a fantastic gift, and I'm looking for a frame. I want to get it framed real nice. I don't want to just go get a little plastic frame and put it on there.
Right.
It's very good.
It was nice, so it's Coach.
No, that's great.
Not
Yeah, I didn't hear
surprised.
any heavy metal music when it came through. So,
Yeah.
but crap, what was I going to say? Oh,
I don't- so,
back to your. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask Star Wars Santa, who is your favorite character and why?
Oh, so I like to group them, but in all of Star Wars, it'd be Ahsoka Tano. Ahsoka is my favorite,
Oh, yeah.
and I think it's because I was able to spend so much time with her. to see her character arc grow. And season 5 of the Clone Wars kind of broke my heart, right? That the ending
I
of
cried.
that season. Oh yeah,
I
yeah, me too.
cried.
Like the second time I watched it, I was more emotional than the first time. Like that is so powerful. What happened, and to see the pain that she went through, I was hooked. And then, of course, season 7, and seeing her and Maul, like Ahsoka Tano, by far my favorite character of all. Yeah,
Shoot, yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. For the
Swing in the
movies,
house.
for the movies, I'm gonna upset you guys. I can't help it. But my
No, you're
favorite,
good.
yeah, I know. I'm sorry. My
I gotta
favorite,
prepare myself.
yeah, brace yourselves. Mute it if you have to. My favorite from the movies is Rey. I absolutely love
Oh
her.
no,
She,
no,
yeah.
Santa, no.
I'm sorry. It's just I don't know, for whatever reason. And there's a story behind it. I talked about it a little with Star Wars Theory. Is I went through some difficulties in my childhood that were very tough, and that impacted me bigger than I knew. Like, it's weird. I think when I think about it, I'm 54 years old. When I was 8 years old, I went through a very traumatic event, and it affected me for the rest of my life. And that's weird. Like, an 8-year-old kid can have their entire life affected by one event, right? I was taken out in the woods by other kids, and they beat me, and they left me laying out in the middle of the woods, bloodied and alone, right? I had to find my way home.
It's terrible.
And that affected me being able to make friends afterwards, being able to trust people, and reliving that at various times, where it affected relationships, right? It affects how I am at work, right? I'm just, it's weird that an 8-year-old kid can be impacted that way, right? So at 10 years old, when I got to see Star Wars, it hit me huge. When I was in my 40s, I went through a little bit of a midlife crisis, and it was tough. And The Force Awakens hit me at a time when I was coming through that, and I connected with Rey in a very deep emotional way that helped heal some of that. And so for me, Rey is she's my hero for many of those reasons, right? Like, she helped me deal with a thing that happened to me when I was 8 that affected my entire life. And I don't know.
So awesome.
Star Wars has just had that kind of impact on me throughout my life at major points. And I love Rey. I absolutely love her.
That is so awesome.
It makes
It is.
It makes it hard when she's getting attacked, right? I really want to defend her, but I have come to realize that that's a personal thing for me. That's an emotional thing for me.
Yeah.
And that other people have had that with, and I saw Theory react this way with Luke, right?
Yes.
It hit him at a time when he saw Luke. It brought him to tears. It did a lot for him. And for me, Rey did that for me. And so, look, it's a personal thing. And for people who don't connect with her and have major issues with the sequels, it's taken some time for me to understand. But I get it. I really do.
And back on you, I understand you and why you connected with Rey. I grew up in a violent home, so I connected with Luke. Always just kind of bullied around and told what to do, and just kind of left him, he just could never find his own way because, but yeah, I get it. I totally get it, and I respect that 100%.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's been tough. Like, when I first, like I said, I went through a midlife crisis in my 40s, and I went on break one time at work, and just out of nowhere, just bawled my eyes out. Right? I
Mhm.
was like, "What is going on?" Right? Like, I didn't like emotionally. You can't. I don't know. It was weird. It was really really odd just to
Yeah.
be crying your eyes out as a grown man for like no reason.
Yeah.
Right? And I
I
Yeah.
realized it had to do with those kids when I was 8 years old.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And
I get that.
it's amazing how Star Wars can give that to so many people. And it's very few things, very few products, so to speak, can do that. Star Wars is one of the few that you can connect to and grasp onto something, and it can help you get through whatever you're going through in your life. And I'm very happy to hear that, Santa. I'm glad that, though many people may not like her, that you found that connection and it helped
Yes.
you work through everything. That's just amazing.
Yes.
It's a cool story because it's happened to so many people in different aspects, be it Luke or be it Anakin or or be it Rey. You know,
Yeah.
whatever that
Mhm.
character was for you at that moment when you went through a really difficult time, and you realize that there's a lot of us really screwed up out there,
Yeah.
and
There
Yeah.
is.
and I
Hmm.
didn't have friends in high school. I mentioned like this thing that happened when I was 8. I had no friends. I remember we moved to Ohio, and I was still in elementary school, and my mom came to pick me up at school, and all the kids are out playing, and I'm sitting alone, by over in nobody wanted to. I had no friends, right? And that's partially, I realized that partially because I didn't want to trust, right? I didn't want to make the connection to these kids that took me out in the woods and beat me, right? So if I don't if I don't trust, I don't get involved, then that won't happen, right? And it broke my mom's heart. When my mom saw me just sitting there alone, all the kids are playing, and it's like, wow. And through high school, I was the nerd, right? I was a weird kid. Didn't have any friends. You get labeled, and that's what you are. Fortunately, my wife
Yep.
saw something in this nerdy kid that she connected with, and we've been married over 30 years, and I've got a soulmate, and we're high school sweethearts, and uh, you know, it's my best friend in high school became my wife, and now my life has changed entirely. Right, like
That is so
I've got
awesome.
this great
Mhm.
community in Star Wars, the YouTube channel. I see folks like X Wing here. X Wing's a great guy. The folks at
Yeah, he
Echo
is.
Base, great folks. You
Yes.
guys, we don't have to agree on our favorite characters, our favorite movies, what's good, what's bad, what what we like, what we dislike, because
Mhm.
we all have gone through some terrible crap in our lives,
Yeah,
and here we
Yeah.
are.
absolutely. That's what I love about Star Wars because it brings together. It's almost like an outcast club.
Yeah,
Everybody who was
Yeah.
cast aside and kicked and beaten and all
yeah,
that stuff, even for liking Star Wars back then,
yeah.
we're all together
Mhm.
now.
That's right.
And
Mhm.
come at me, bro.
Right.
I got friends.
That's right. Well, that's what I saw like X Wing saying, "Hey, let's go mess them up."
Yeah.
These kids in Oklahoma,
Yeah.
I had to have no idea. We lived next. Our house burned down. We lost everything. Right.
Oh
Like,
gosh.
there was a series of events that happened within like a year. We lived in West
Mm.
Virginia. Our house caught fire, burned down. We were uninsured, lost everything. Living in the back of a truck, like homeless, and we moved out to Oklahoma, and lived next to an Indian reservation, Native Americans, and 2-room schoolhouse, kindergarten through third grade and fourth grade through sixth grade in the other, and Yeah, those kids took me out, right? Like I was in third grade, and they just, it's a small little place, dirt floor in our house. We're a
Yeah.
dirt floor,
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
you look back, like wow, and we're a bunch of misfits that have found each other, and
Yep.
uh, uh, you know, what I like is we seems that we're coming through this period where we're attacking one another, right? Like sequels fans attacking prequels fans, or prequels fans attacking sequels fans, or sequel haters attacking sequel lovers. Like we seem to be getting past this division
Yes.
and
Mm-hmm.
trying to find ways where we realize that we just love Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And that's what I've been preaching all along. It's like, just because I don't like the Star Wars that you like, you found something in Star Wars to like, so you're my brother. You know, that's the way
Amen.
it
Mm-hmm.
is.
Amen.
That's the way
Yep.
it is.
Yeah.
Every person in this community, whether I know them or not, are my brothers and sisters.
I agree.
That's right.
I agree. And I look forward to a day where we can come together again in these conventions and things. I've never gone to a Star Wars convention, but I am dying to go. Right? I'm
I
dying to
haven't either.
go. I would love to
Well,
see
that
you
is a
guys.
perfect segue, Santa. Perfect segue,
Oh,
because the ICCC is coming up April 29th through May 2nd, I believe. And we are going to have a Echo Base Network meetup in Nashville at the convention. So please join us.
I would love to. Tennessee is absolutely doable from here. We can take the fifth wheel down there and stay in the camper. We're actually talking about maybe going down to Tennessee here in November, end of October, November. So that's absolutely reachable from here. And
that's awesome.
there's one thing that's sort
Yeah.
of in the works. Our daughter wants to go to Europe when she graduates from college, and it's going to be about that same time. So I may be over in the UK and France, but if we're not, then I would love to go down there.
Yes.
Absolutely. It sounds like a good time. I'm going to miss it because I have too many animals.
Oh
Yeah.
well, we
I will be
I
there.
def I definitely want to go there. And when I was talking with Coach and on EBN, I heard about it, and I would love to go there. I hope that we
Hmm.
can, but someday we will meet, and I can't wait.
Yeah, we got
Too. I will be there in
Retropalooza.
Nashville.
Well,
Hmm.
if I make it, we will find each other.
Yes.
Yeah, we got Retropalooza coming up here next month in Arlington, Texas, which is less than an hour from where I'm at. And I'm going to meet up with Nick from Echo Base, Stone Loki, Mexican Iron Man, and I believe Polly Latino Slant. And we're just going to go look at some old games and all kinds of good stuff, toys, and then we're going to go to an arcade afterwards.
Awesome. I
And I'm
saw
just so
Phil
looking
Phil
for it.
McCracken
Like
asked
fun.
who's the best fighter pilot in all of Star Wars. Well, that's a tough question, Phil. That's a tough question. I want to say Poe Dameron might be, but that is it's tough because you've got some fantastic fighter pilots. Well, Anakin, is is nobody to sneeze at, and there's some fantastic fighter pilots. But if I take Anakin and Luke out because they're Jedi, right, and it's just to go for a strict
Hmm.
fighter pilot, just a fighter pilot, I think Poe Dameron might be that guy. Otherwise, if I include Anakin and Luke, then it's probably Anakin, right? Like if you just take
Yeah.
fighter pilot total, right, everything all combined, then it's clearly Anakin in my mind.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because he didn't bullseye Womp Rants in his T16 back home.
Right.
That's right.
But I mean, he's got the full package, right? Like with that with using the Force, his piloting abilities, just
Hmm.
he's got everything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you got to go with him. But if you take Force users out, you take Jedi out, then Poe is probably the best. I mean, there's still some really good ones. So yeah, Wedge Antilles. Yeah.
I feel a war coming on in the chat.
Well,
gosh.
Wedge is the one I was wrestling with, right? Like, is it Wedge or is it Poe? And I think it's Poe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Poe
Wedge
was
is
very
good,
Yes.
but yeah, Poe was like you just
Yeah.
sit there and just boom, boom, one after the other. And
Yeah.
Wedge
Yeah.
is a little more tactical, takes his time. Poe's just like, nah, let's do it.
Go
Yeah.
for it.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Poe is like your true like fighter pilot mentality, right? Like just yeah.
Just go in and
Oh,
get it done.
gosh, so here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh,
Yeah, oh
gosh.
boy, it started. It
Yep,
started.
there we go.
There it
I'll
fell.
go back. It's a good thing Meg is not here. Meg can stir up a
Porkins.
chat better than anybody.
Oh.
So you're lucky she's not in there mixing it up.
Well, I mean, that's about how our chat runs anyway. We just start
Yeah.
talking about something. Next thing you know, there's a fight in the chat, and then we start paying attention to the chat, and
I know.
we don't even have
Yep.
a show anymore. We're just sitting there going, "Okay, what's going to happen now?"
I have the same.
We're just
problem with
going
Meg.
along with what they say.
I trying to control
Yep.
my live streams when Meg is in the chat is terrible. like her and Nikki stirred up, and now X-Wing has come in, and he's not without guilt, right? Like X-Wing
Oh.
and Sheev the Wise, both of them come in just to poke the bear.
And that's why I get along with
X-Wing.
X-Wing so well. That's what I like to do. My waffle tea.
I love him
to poke the
too.
bear.
And that's one of the reasons it happens is because I enjoy it too much. So
It's fun.
it is.
Yeah, it is. X-Wing
Santa's
better be
chest,
careful
there's
not to get on Santa's naughty list, though.
Oh, and like Matt can tell you, they've turned me as red as my Santa suit. Like they embarrass me so bad, it's terrible.
Oh,
Well, since we have
Santa's
Santa here, I don't know if Matt or anybody has it, but Santa, do you have a Discord for your YouTube channel?
I do, and a lot of these folks are in it. It's called Santa's Covert, like the Mandalorian, a covert, right? Santa's Covert, and yeah, if one of your mods or somebody can put it in there.
Yeah.
A lot of these folks are there. Matt's already there. X-Wing's been in there, and Star Wars Meg is in our Discord. She's in there giving me a hard time all the time too. So.
So, Matt or one of our mods, if you could put a link in to subscribe to Santa if you guys aren't already, and also to his Discord,
Thank you.
please.
absolutely.
And thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, see, Novex, I'm there. Oh, Rockers brought up a good
Yeah.
point.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, Han Solo.
Yeah.
And I know, like the movie Solo, it takes a little bit of. It happened in a weird time, but you get to see some of the best piloting of the Falcon ever in that movie, right?
Oh,
On
yeah.
that Kessel Run.
yeah.
He's yeah, what is that called? Where they do the slide in the cars. He does that with the Falcon.
Drift?
Yeah,
Drifting?
drift. Yes. He drifts the Falcon. That's fantastic. It's a really, really good scene. And you see that, Han Solo's no slouch.
Oh yeah, he's
Oh,
great.
no,
And
he's
see,
not.
Shut your hole. Nobody's talking to you.
What?
No, nothing.
Really? I'm gonna
No,
pay
Han-
you back for that. See how he treats me, Santa. He should be on your naughty list.
It's not right. It's not right.
Oh, you should hear her when you're not here.
I am an
Ooh-wee.
angel. I don't know what he's talking about. I am a perfect angel.
Well, your thumbnail says different.
He got
Oh,
you there.
I've been caught. I've been caught.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Han Solo was the one I wanted to bond with because he was so cool and he didn't care and he shot Greedo and he was the only one who shot just in case there's those
That's
want to
right.
start an argument.
That's right.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, he was the one I wanted to bond with because I thought Luke was he come off kind of wimpy at first, but then
Yeah.
I ended up bonding with Luke because, well, I was wimpy.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
I was no smuggler.
So back in the day, when you didn't know, I was more of a Luke and Leia shipper, right? Like I want to when you see them in even in Empire, where she comes up and she kisses him when to show Han like you're not you're not all that.
Yeah.
I was like, there you go, and I wanted them to be together, and it's like, oh, she's your sister. Ooh.
Yikes.
Awkward.
That's not how you kiss your sister.
No. But no. And Solo and TIE Fighter would have ripped everyone. Dude, I'm with you. You put
Very well could
a
have.
TIE Interceptor at that.
Yeah.
You put Solo in a TIE Interceptor, he would have he could have won it all. Why you say that about Greedo? Well, Greedo and a Speedo, because, well, if you watch it in super slow motion and pause it right before Han shoots him, you'll understand why.
Yep. He's
That
the
is
only
the
one
greatest-
that shoots.
That is the greatest shot I have ever paused on, and I hit it by accident when I was watching it years ago.
Well, there's one gripe I have about George Lucas that I still won't let go of is that he won't give us the original trilogy in its original theatrical release. He's held on to it. It was part of the sale to Disney, and the agreement with Kathleen Kennedy to not release those versions, and it really is a gripe that I have because I grew up, those movies meant something to me, and I would love to be able to share those with my kids and be able to go back and the Greedo scene is just one, but just to be able to show them what that was that I saw. And you can do it. You can go get Harmies or you can get some of these other versions, but you can't just go out and buy them or stream them on Disney Plus. And I don't think they'll ever allow that as long as George Lucas is alive. He's just...
I just think it's funny. That's the one thing he requested that they honored.
I know.
Everything else
it
was like, be all right. We own it now. It's all good.
Well, eventually,
And
I
he
do
even
think they
had
will.
a shirt on. He even
I
had
know.
the shirt that said Han shot first.
He annoys me. Like, and I know it's not exactly in context, but he gave that speech in front of the U.S. Senate back when they were talking about movie rights and the original on VHS. Oh my goodness, X-Wing! I absolutely would
Really?
love to have those. It's the issue though is like he gave that testimony because he was really mad at Turner because he was colorizing movies. And so they went to Congress and he was saying, oh, you've got to preserve these things. You got to hold them in their original theatrical release. And you're like, dude, I agree with you. Like, why can't, like, there's an experience that we had when we sat in the theater. And that experience is not able to be seen today unless you work for it. It's really hard. And if he had any way about it, you wouldn't be able to at all. Like he's made that very vocal. Like he saw those as unfinished. Well, that's what got released in the theater. That's what we experienced, and that's what I would love to be able to share and be able to relive. And he makes me crazy. He makes me crazy.
Yeah, like the whole Jabba the Hutt scene, that was unnecessary.
It's completely unnecessary.
It's cringe.
Yes.
It's so cringe.
And it's all repeat of what he tells Greedo. Like,
It's like, wait a minute, you just said that to Greedo right before you killed him, so what's going on?
Exactly.
I wish they had kept the fat guy that they had portraying Jabba to begin with. He was better than the computer version.
Amen.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Yeah.
That was just so cringe, especially when they made him walk on his tail. I was like, why? You got to go through that much work to make that
Yeah.
scene work. Why
Yeah.
even do it to
Mhm.
begin with?
Well, and Han's jerky head, to avoid Greedo's blast, all of that. It's like
Yeah, it's
it's
like, no,
jerky. It's
Greedo didn't
bad.
shoot at all.
Leave it
Greedo,
alone.
Nope.
Greedo didn't have a chance to shoot.
No, he's dead.
Yes.
He
Right?
was
He didn't
dead.
shoot. Greedo didn't shoot second. He was already dead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Utka. Yes,
I'm
I
with
bet
you.
you have. Boom. Done.
Yep.
Oh, so annoying. So annoying.
Yeah.
Well, Stana,
McClunky.
thank you so much. McClunky.
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 That's one of my favorite things in the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian. What are those? The gallery episodes.
Yes, love
when
those.
when
Yeah.
John Favreau wanted to put McClunky in, and Dave laughs at him and says no. Like, I love that little scene. He's like, we should have him say McClunky. Dave laughs. Ha ha ha. No. That's it. It's really good. What'd you miss, Daryl?
Well, I don't know. What did I miss?
I don't know either. That's why I highlighted it, because I don't know what
That-
you missed either.
Is that what I missed? Because I was not there.
Don't know.
Oh
No,
my
I
That's
I
terrible.
saw the Alabama joke.
Yeah. No, it's-
Yeah, I saw
Oh.
that. Yeah, we were talking about kissing your sister, and I said, Black Dragon's like, it works in Alabama. Well, that goes with that meme I posted a couple weeks ago about, relative saying or a sibling saying, I barely touched you, and then it shows like a handprint and then a
Oh.
scar, and then it shows a pregnant sister, and he has an Alabama hat on.
Oh no.
It was great. I was like,
It was
yeah, I gotta
too
post that.
good. It was too
I can't help
good.
that.
That's hilarious.
Well, Santa, thank you so much for coming on today. I have had an absolute blast and would love to have you come back anytime.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
I've had a great time too, and I love that like the folks at Echo Base, you guys have reached out to me. I would love to have you on my channel sometime, and I know Coach has said that anytime I want, all I have to do is ask. He'll show up, and I absolutely plan to do that. I was able to visit X-Wing, so I want to return the favor for all of you and invite you on. And I think we're going to get that opportunity. 2022 is going to be an amazing, amazing year.
Yes.
If you're a Star Wars fan, and regardless of your opinion on the sequels, you're going to get some fantastic Star Wars. And I am so excited for 2022.
Yes.
And I think that'll be a great time to have each other on. To go and visit one another. There's going to be tons of things to talk about and tons of things that we're going to be excited about. And so, my friends,
There's something for everyone.
We'll absolutely do that. And when we've got a bunch to talk about, I can't wait.
Absolutely. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Santa.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you so much.
That was my Christmas wish. You granted my Christmas wish.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And I am a professional Santa Claus here in Central Ohio, and I do virtual Santa Claus visits with people all over the country, and even in other countries, right? So we'll have information about that very soon for this year. If you'd like to do a visit with Santa Claus, then I would be happy to be your Santa. And it's a ton of fun. I love it.
Yay.
Oh, I got to tell you real quick, and I know I'm up against time, and you guys are being respectful of that. I thank you. My funniest Santa Claus story related to Star Wars is I was doing photo shoot for families where I kind of sneak in as Santa and surprise the kids. And so they start off taking family portraits at a studio, and they're taking Christmas family portraits, and then Santa Claus comes out and they get pictures with Santa, and I get to ask them what they want for Christmas. And so we were doing that, and I come out and there's a brother sister about 4 and 7, right? Like the girl's maybe 4 or 5 years old. The brother's like 7 or 8. And I ask them what they want for Christmas. And the little girl says, I want a Jabba the Hutt. And I was like, oh, you would like Jabba the Hutt. And her dad goes, honey, don't you mean Jar Jar Binks? And she goes, Dad, I know who Jabba is. So, well, there you go. The girl wants Jabba the Hutt. Good luck, Dad.
Oh yeah.
Right?
It was so much fun. I'll never forget it.
Oh,
It's
that's great.
really
Gosh,
good.
that was great.
Not many 4-year-old girls ask for a Jabba the Hutt figure.
No, not at all. But
Christmas.
that's good parenting right there.
Yeah, it is. Yes.
Even if the dad had no clue.
Yeah, Dad was like, what? Like, you wanted a slug? Yeah, that's what she wanted. She wanted the Jabba the Hutt figure. I was so happy. Like, and I'll never forget that story. I love telling it. So, you guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Santa.
Hopefully we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Guys,
That was so awesome.
give it up. That was
Oh my gosh.
awesome, man. I am so
Yes.
stoked. That is so
Yes.
cool. And here you are, guys, having a blast in the chat, and I'm sitting here just puckered the whole time.
All right. Well, we don't expect anything less from you, Daryl.
Just for that, I'm drinking.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought you were going to try to take me off the stream again.
Nah, you're good.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
this time.
Thank you.
This time. Thanks, y'all. And thanks,
Thank you,
everyone,
guys.
for being here.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Sekmara? I hope I'm saying that right. Welcome. I've never seen you here
Yes,
before. Thank you for
welcome.
showing up. I appreciate
That's
it
a
very
new
much.
name.
We
Mhm.
appreciate it very much. Yeah, we appreciate
Yes.
it. Yeah, it's a great show, isn't it?
It's okay. Sometimes Daryl forgets that I'm here, so I have to poke him a little bit, you know?
I wasn't trying. I was just trying to be respectful of our guest.
Yeah.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you. I pulled one out of the EBN books and
Yep.
tried to run that play word for word. So
Mhm.
that was all you, Coach.
Yeah. Yeah. Hats off to Coach and Nick.
Thank you, Novak.
Mm-hmm.
Man, the hands are clapping. And Ducky Momo, thank you so much for subbing. We
Yes,
appreciate
thank
that
you.
very, very much. It's good to
Yes.
have you here.
Oh, you did
I did.
pronounce it right, Daryl.
Oh, I did. Awesome.
Yeah. Yay.
Oh.
He did something right.
Hey, drinking has its benefits.
That's
Never
right.
You know what? I'm hitting some of Dave's magic juice.
There you go.
Oh, how to bring the Dave. No, Phil. Oh, Phil.
Really, Phil? Really?
It's basically what you're seeing now is us just BSing and me drinking and her drinking off camera.
Yes.
I don't mind putting myself out there. I don't care. Because we all have a good hand. A good hand. I was reading this. Yeah, we all have a good hand. No, we're just nothing but. God, I almost said it. No.
We have a good time here. We have a really
you.
good time here. That's
And
what he's trying to say. We have a lot of fun. We do a lot of laughing and a lot of messing around, and it's just so much fun. It's so much fun.
It is. Dude, I'm really hoping to. That is my plan. It depends on Mrs. Derelict and how she's feeling, but she didn't chastise me when I ignored her phone call earlier, so I think we're good. She knows I'm streaming, and she calls me. You know, like Santa had been on her 10 minutes, and she calls me. I'm like, I told you I was streaming at 2 today, woman.
Right?
But yes, that is my plan. And for those of you who don't know, X-Wing has fight night, Friday night fight night.
Fight Me Fridays.
Yeah, something like that. It's something clever he came up with. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're not clever here. We
Not at
don't give
all.
we don't give a
No,
shit.
no cleverness.
Sekmara, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, we greatly appreciate it. Yes.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we tomorrow. See, this is a special stream for us. We don't stream on Fridays, especially at 2:00, because I'm usually still at work. I'm on vacation this week, so we were lucky to nab Santa when we did. But tomorrow is our normal stream, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central. And tomorrow we are talking 80s.
I love the 80s.
Excuse me. Oh, I had to burp. I'm sorry. Yeah. See what you're looking forward to now?
Yeah.
No, we
Got
are
some
talking
burps.
everything, the entire decade, 80s. Doesn't matter what you want to talk about, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the movies. We're going to talk about the cars. We're going to talk about the clothes. We're going to talk about the hair and the hairspray that made a hole in the ozone layer.
Yeah. Aquanet.
Aquanet. No, sorry. I thought you were starting a song.
Not this time.
Money on John.
Uh-oh.
I'll fight him.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, bitch. You mean 80s? I'm not getting involved in those drama. Y'all can just
yeah. Just fight each other. Save that for X-Wing's stream tonight. Fight Me Fridays.
Absolutely. Bring your anger. Bring your anger and bring them dukes, man. Bring them to the gun show.
Yep.
Sekmara, we stream every Saturday at 2 p.m. Central and every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Central. Mm-hmm. And Tuesdays is our more, should I say, tame?
Oh,
even though it doesn't end up that way.
Usually on Tuesdays, we have a plan that we try to stick with. Saturdays is usually mostly wherever it leads is where we follow.
Yes.
So, yep.
I am a target. What can I say? So okay, I'm not going to go with that. The incredibly chiseled jawline and charming character. Dude, I got to have another fucking drink. You're killing me, Small. Oh, God, that was tasty.
You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
Oh, dippity-doo.
Oh, gosh, that stuff was just as bad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and it would make your fingers all sticky and nasty. Oh.
Suave was the worst. Don't ask me how I know that. I'll answer it tomorrow.
Okay. We'll get into all of that tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central. Make sure y'all join us.
Hey, we're not closing down yet. I'm at home alone, so if y'all don't mind sticking around, we can just do whatever.
Hey.
I am good right now.
I'm good. I didn't get my alcohol because I wanted to be sober talking to Santa.
I had it sitting here next to me, but I had it in a coffee cup.
You had it hidden.
Yes. Absolutely. Well, I mean, I was going to be respectful of him because it's his first time here, and you don't want to bombard somebody with the stuff that we do their first time here. We got to ease some people into it.
Yeah, we don't want to scare him away.
And he's cool. Lovely guy to death. And wow, that was just eye-opening for me.
Oh, really, yeah, it was.
And, you want to come on?
Yeah, come on. We'll send you the link.
My Discord is going ape shit. What is going on over here?
It's probably the Hangar Bay. It's always the Hangar Bay.
No, it's EBN.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Coach just dropped the top NES sellers of all time video.
Ooh.
So when y'all leave here, go check that out.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can remember how to work this thing. I don't freaking know. I don't know what I'm doing.
You want me to send it to him? I can do it from my phone.
No, I just did.
Okay.
Hey, thanks for hanging, brother.
Yes.
Gmod stream sometime with Matt Cave. Dude, that would be awesome. I just reinstalled Gmod earlier, so.
Mm-hmm.
Do it, buddy. You're in my pocket and on my earbuds. That just sounds like a bad. That sounds like a bad song.
It kind of does. A bad line from a bad song.
Oh. I write the songs that make the whole world cringe. Where are you?
Oh.
There you are.
He means he's at work.
Oh.
You slack ass.
How dare you?
He's at work and we know he's not really working.
Dude, you're supposed to get your shit done after work. It was bait.
Oh, you bastard.
Oh, wow, man. Man, Arlena's coming out with just guns blazing.
X-Wing knows I love him. Come on.
Crit, check your DM. So you're logged in. You can bring him in?
Yeah.
Okay, because I got to go refill. I'll be right back.
All right, 10-4. Well, while Daryl goes and refills, nobody has said anything in chat after X-Wing told us he's a masturbator. So, nice to know that you're a masturbator, X-Wing. We appreciate that knowledge. And, well, dang, what happened? There we go.
Up?
We have Lord Crit joining us. Hello, Lord
What's
Crit.
up?
What's going on? Dude, that is an awesome mustache. Is that in honor of the conversation we were having in the hangar bay earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, everybody,
Me-
too. Don't forget tonight is Mustaches on Mustafar.
Mustaches almost far. I had an interesting conversation in there with them last night. We were talking about Star Wars and just chill with Korban and coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Rag
Yeah.
on the sequels. You know, it's always fun to rag on the sequels every now and then.
Always fun.
Always.
It's always a good conversation for that.
That Santa talk almost brought me to tears.
Yeah, it did, man. It was deep. That was deep. Yep. X-Wing for the win.
X-Wing for the win. Or should we say the chairman, if we ever get back in Gmail.
Right.
The chairman.
Damn that stash. Oh.
I got
Oh man. So you are asking which is better, Phil? I'd say TIE Interceptors.
TIE Interceptors or TIE Advance, I would even say is better.
Yeah.
Phil McCracken, crack-a-lackin'.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Gotta love Phil. He's trying to bait me with his Wedge Antilles talk, but I'm not going to go for it.
Oh no, is this like Rocky 4 in the chat here?
I must break you.
I would break you.
Always.
I am actually.
I'm
not
excited.
I'm not looking forward to it as a Star Wars project, but I'm looking. It's like I was saying yesterday on EBN. I look at it as, when we were kids, we had all our toys and stuff like that, and we played Star Wars. This is just like their stories that we're getting to see. So that's the way I'm looking at it. It looks really cool. So I'm just going to go into it with an open mind.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. How about you?
Use an open mind. Yep. I can't wait for Visions. No,
that is so creepy.
It really was.
Oh, seeing that mustache reminds me. Coffee on Korriban is having a Mustaches on Mustafar stream
Mhm.
today.
Yep.
I
7
don't.
p.m.
Yeah.
7 p.m. Central.
Yeah.
And then somewhere
Here-
right around then or after that is X-Wing's stream.
Yep.
Friday Night Fights.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough.
Fight me.
Mhm.
Fight me, I'm here.
Yeah, they're gonna get the
Kill me,
cuffs.
I'm here.
Gross. I can scare you easily, X-Wing.
Oh, okay. You're running 6 to 7 your time?
Oh, okay, cool. That's West Coast or
So,
Central.
well, that's what I'm asking. Is that your time or our time?
Yeah.
Is that the same time
Yeah.
as Mustafar? Or?
Yeah. That's good.
Mm. Yes.
Yes, it does. It does.
Hmm.
Don't let X-Wing get to you now.
I'm in the Empire next to this Discord, so
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
Yes. Part of the Empire. Welcome. Welcome.
the Empire.
Long have I waited.
You will join the Empire.
Yes.
Have you already talked to Matt Cave about the Gmod stream?
Oh, you want to get on that? Well, does he have Gmod?
I do not know. I mean, yeah, I'd like to do it. I
I'll
just
message him.
don't.
I have a collection of a bunch of Star Wars crap that you could just subscribe and download to get down on some battles, you know,
Hey, hey.
For the Empire.
for the Empire.
6 p.m. Psst,
Hell.
psst, psst.
So, what you guys excited for anything coming out in the coming weeks of Venom?
The most thing I'm looking forward to is Book of Boba.
Book
Mace
of
lives.
Boba.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. It's
Mhm.
going to happen. Mace is going to show up.
Yep.
And I've said it before. I'll say it again. Mace is going to be, depending on how they're going to do it, he's either going to be in the episode before the last. At the very last scene is going to be him igniting that purple lightsaber. So the last episode will be all about it. Or in the very last episode, the end scene is going to be him igniting that purple lightsaber. And you're going to be like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. What show do we got to watch next?
And I'll say, "Oh, that's cool," but it's in my dreams. Oh,
No.
I don't
I'm
think
telling
it's
you.
gonna happen.
Mace is coming back.
Maybe they'll have a Jedi Master Mace Smith with Will Smith as a
For those of you in doubt, please check the Vactube's published works.
check the Vactube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this goes
I
way
made a
back.
video
We've
on
been
it back
talking
in
about.
January.
Oh gosh, we've been talking about this for a while.
Well, me and Brian, the original person who's going to be on this channel with me, I have an update about him, by the way. We talked about it right after the Mandalorian season ended. That
Mm-hmm.
it's like Mace coming back. I was like, dude. And then I started the channel and didn't do anything with it for a while because of work and the holidays. And then I started getting on it. And it's, hey, Tron, what is up,
Mhm.
brother?
What
He
is
fights
up?
for the users.
What is up,
Mhm.
Tron?
But yeah, I think it was January or
Wrong.
February. January or February, I made the video about Mace and how he.
I think it was February because I went and changed the title of it for you,
Yeah.
and I think it was February. Yeah.
Boy. Wow, I
If
don't
you
know
don't
how.
get that ugly picture off of here, yeah,
Wait,
you
I
know,
have a ugly-
disappeared.
Oh, I had a LeBron. I forgot.
You had
No.
LeBron James up there.
LeBron. LeBron.
Oh,
I
man.
think Cade Bane's gonna be in Boba. So
Yeah, that's already been
I think-
confirmed.
I think that's a given, but I think this real surprise is going to be Mace. And again, like Daryl said, y'all go back through our history. We have been talking. He talked about it before I even became a partner on this channel, but then he and I have been talking about it for months on end.
Yeah, it's a very small, very short video.
Very short.
Well, it's only 4 minutes. It was my first produced video, so piss off. I'm trying to look at there we go. Oh, wow. April 18th.
Oh, I thought it was February.
Yeah, I did. Well, I think it was February when I started. I had to figure out how to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was just crazy. I had to figure out how to edit because I'd never edited before. I never made any transitions or none of that stuff. Have never made any thumbnails. So I had to figure all that out, and it took me a while.
See, I have the advantage of having you already with the experience. So eventually, when I start my own channel down the road a ways, I'll already have the knowledge because of you. And I thank you again for that.
No problem.
Yep.
And that's what sparked the reinvigoration of that theory. When X-Wing was on and I was watching him, he saw that interview, Ming Na Wen slipped up that Samuel L. Jackson, she got to work with him or be next to him on stage or something like that. And yeah, I started jumping up and down in my truck.
Are you guys excited for Ahsoka?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think Ahsoka will be in Boba Fett?
No.
Maybe, but it'll be very slim.
Maybe.
Mm-mm.
Maybe you can make all the cutesy faces you want, but
right. Yeah, I don't think she'll be in it because it just the way they said it's going to be all kill, all thrill, all of that stuff. Yeah. I don't think Ahsoka's going to be in it. I think it's going to be all Boba. We're going to see other characters, but it's going to be mostly bounty hunters.
I'm glad you're getting better, Tron.
Mm-hmm.
I think they need to do it like John Wick. Let Boba Fett go all in.
That's pretty much what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be all hit, no tit.
Yep.
Oh, and if you care to help us out, I'm getting low on rum. And for those of you who are new to the channel, Dave is my alter ego when I drink.
Mm-hmm.
So,
who was it that said Dave at first?
I think it was Strike.
Yeah, right. And he was like, he typed Dave instead of Daryl, and he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and then it just kind of stuck.
Yeah, it just kind of it evolved after that. I even made a commercial about it. Catch it on EBN TV Monday night at 7 p.m. Central.
Mm-hmm.
I just imagine you wearing a black business suit and the slick black hair and Dave. your evil alter ego. Yeah,
I was trying.
JR.
See, well, I mean, we could call you Ty. Since you're X-Wing, your alter ego be Ty, so.
Yeah.
What would be in my alter ego? Coffee on credit. No. I don't know.
That's a tough one.
I don't know.
That is a tough one. Why do you got to make me think?
Right?
Why you got to do that to me? Ty, I love it. Ty one on. You damn right, brother. Yeah.
Ty one. Maybe I'll be Crit Lord. So that's the opposite.
Or instead of Crit, you'll be Trick.
Trick, yeah. Or I'd be like Lord, like the singer Lord.
Oh, shine bright like a diamond. It would be Turk.
There you go.
Captain Turk of the Millennium Falcon. We have found space spot.
And we have run out of rum.
Pick him up, some Jack Daniels, and some cool. We cannot, sir. Khan has taken all the Coors Light.
God! Oh, God, that's great.
Oh, that is so great. Oh. Well, I already have an alter ego. Her name is Isabella. It's not Isabella, it's Isabella.
Isabella.
Yeah.
Isa.
Isabella.
Is that like Wusa?
Hmm.
Sounds like
No,
like dude.
no. Because when I say her name and I've been drinking, that's how it comes out. Isabella. Isabella. The hell you
Isa.
talking? My name is Isabella.
Devolved again.
Baronville fan. He has an alter ego. He introduced it on Gmod. He is the chairman, and you must fight the chairman. X-Wing is the chairman. That's his evolved alter ego. For now on, it'll be the chairman. Larf.
I don't know. Oh God! I really enjoyed X-Wing's Saturday night stream. That is so funny when he gets scared.
No. See, that's why I don't do that shit. No.
Oh, it's hilarious.
No. I mean, I tried that, not streaming it before I even had a channel. A few years ago, I was playing Five Nights at Freddy's at like 1 o'clock in the morning. And it was dark, and I'm like, that. No.
I was surprised I got through Alien Isolation, which is a good game.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. It looks really cool. But again, no.
Oh yeah, Anxiety the game.
Oh, I know. It's like, man, I can't do that. You cannot do that. That's just crazy. I ain't scared.
I ain't scared of no ghost.
Sure.
Okay.
Scared. Sure.
Like what you do for your Scooby snack. Zoinks.
No, Maggie. That was terrible, and I'm sorry.
Like no need, man. Like hand me that Jack Daniels.
Swings, I'll give it to you as soon as I can.
Oh man.
Oh, that's good.
We
And
just
funny enough, donate to my rum supply. I ain't got a lick of rum in here. This is vodka. This is Rumple.
Rumpelstiltskin.
Well, after a while, my skin still feels pretty still. Yeah, I can't even talk. English is hard today. My favorite color is 7.
English what?
I failed English. Danger, Will Robinson. Warning.
Beep boop. Boop boop up.
And that is so true. That is so true. X-Wing is so funny on that stream. He's like, oh, I ain't going that way. That way. What's coming up behind me?
Look at the screen.
I can scare you very easily.
Oh gosh.
Do it.
Do it. I know.
Yes, my master.
I sense it in you.
All we're missing is the Max Rebo band.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Done.
Right?
Oh, you mean the one from the special editions where it's like, and you got the teeth?
No, we don't need a Yuzum. No Yuzum. No.
Don't Oh, whatever.
That's right, sir. I speak 2 languages, English and bad English. Most of the time it's bad. But yeah, we don't need Sauce Noodles
I
are her
speak
backup singers.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
English, and Southern. Those are my languages.
Hooey. Don't get right in there and give it that drink. Hooey.
Yeah, it's right over there, yonder, over there, over yonder.
We're
Over
about to go
yonder.
tubing down the river. Don't forget that bear in the cooler. Hooey.
Alan said, "Look like Yoda on drugs."
I was saying in the chat earlier, since we're talking Star Wars, I kind of disagreed with what Santa said about the prequels.
Yeah. Hit me.
I think the dialogue, I think the story overshadows the dialogue, and that I think, back in the old days, if you had like actors, I felt like it's kind of like that. It's kind of like old age, and you can forgive the acting or whatever for the overall story that is the Darth Vader. And I disagree. I think I did see what he said, that he also said that like the prequels don't matter. Like he said, people are saying that the Anakin is that like it adds to Anakin's character, and he didn't like that, and I disagree. I think it does add to his character. So, now if you want to talk about the sequels, why would you think the sequels might have better dialogue, but what about the story?
Well, sequels unfortunately do not have good dialogue.
Oh yeah, they fly now, Rey.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I call The Force Awakens The Forced Awakens, because everything in it felt forced. Every bit.
Yeah.
Of it. Talk about wooden acting and just stoic robot. That's it.
Yeah. Daisy Ridley's always looking at the screen.
It's like, but I was with the creature and the door. It's like, boy, that was lucky.
All right.
Yeah. And I swear to God, I hate myself for watching those movies so many times because I have shit part of it memorized.
Yeah,
you just like torture yourself.
Yes.
I did that remake of The Last Jedi, and when we did trivia, like, why do you know so many? Why do you know so much about the sequels? Why are you winning? And I'm like, well, I have to do my research.
No.
It wasn't good. It wasn't really worth my time, but.
Oh, well, I mean, I was glutton for punishment. I tried to watch them just to see if something I missed, some kind of Easter egg that would make that scene better, or anything to try and make me like those movies, and I could not.
I walked out of episode 9 halfway. Never looked back. I watched the rest on Disney Plus, but I felt better walking out after seeing the rest of that trash fire.
Yeah.
Yes. Rockers agree. 100% rockers.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel extraordinarily fortunate. Excuse me. That we grew up with that.
And I feel fortunate I grew up with the prequels, and me and Timothy and some others,
Yeah, like I was telling him, I went into the prequels with zero expectations because I knew this come before the original trilogy. So I knew it was going to be different. And I mean, the guy I went to see it with, he went off on it. As soon as we left the theater, he started saying, "Man, what a trash movie. What a piece of shit. I can't believe they did this, man. It's just ruined Star Wars for me." I was like, "What are you talking about, dude? You can't compare this movie to the original trilogy because the original trilogy hasn't happened yet. So you can't do that."
Yep.
But he did, and it ruined it for him, just like with Santa. Santa went into it with expectations and came out not liking them. Me, I didn't. I love them. 1978, me and my friend Brian read in Fandango magazine an interview with George Lucas about the Vader Obi-Wan fight on Mustafar. Wasn't Mustafar, but basically it was a fight in a volcano. And when Revenge of the Sith came out, and I got to see that fight on Mustafar, I could have died happy right then.
That was the pinnacle of my childhood, was Revenge of the Sith. I don't care what anyone says. Like Attack of the Clones, I fell asleep in the theater, so I don't rag on it as much, but I do think it's weaker than Episode 1, and I know a lot of people just don't like Episode 1, but whatever.
Well, Episode 1, you kind of had to introduce things.
Yeah.
So it's going to be slower.
You still felt a heaviness to it, even if you didn't like it. You still felt it was part of the mythos.
Yeah, especially the fight at the end.
Even my dad, he didn't care. He liked it, and he's like trying to he told his friends like, "Hey, I think that's Palpatine, the Emperor," and they didn't believe him, and they're like, "Oh, well."
I agree, Sigmara. Killingham was the worst, and he had the most unceremonious death. They just basically kicked him to the curb. There was no meaning to his death, except to Kylo Ren, and we couldn't really attach ourselves to Kylo Ren because he come off as a spoiled brat by that point.
Yeah,
I did not. I think that could have been fixed in Episode 8, and they did not fix it.
It could have. Yep, it really
could have.
Yeah.
They could.
They had a scene where actually Luke thinks back about Han, and they cut that out. I don't know.
Yeah, they cut out him mourning for Han's death, which is so stupid.
I said that I didn't mind if it was just the Luke and Rey story. I think it would have been a 5-6 out of 10. If they had the Rey stuff and the Admiral Hodingus or whatever her name was, that dropped it to 3 out of 10. But I think if they made Luke, if he had different if he had different reasons other than he's just a grumpy old fart that hates the Jedi, and I think
Get off my yard.
I would have accepted him being like this grumpy and like just sad, but then they could have had him like actually go crate and fight Kylo Ren, but they didn't. They had him just do television,
force project himself.
Yeah,
he had a zoom and he had a stroke, and that's it.
I had a theory about that. Well, because he cut himself off from the Force for so long, it was like heroin. As soon as he came back, he OD'd. But I had a theory about that before Episode 9 came out, that while he was projecting himself, he was actually projecting himself to Octu as well, and he was actually laying on in the main room or the main hall on Yavin 4 where his Jedi Academy was. Oh. And that's where he was projecting from, and as soon as he died on Octu, he woke up.
They could have had him after he talks to Yoda. They could have showed a scene where he uses the Force and takes out the X-wing, and he's like, "All right, it's time to save Rey. I'm done being this old dumb."
Absolutely. Hang on a second, Bear.
They did not do that, and that's disappointing. But in The Mandalorian, they did that exactly. They had Luke go in his X-wing, go to the location, actually go to the ship. They just did it a couple years late, and with it was like you get a real fan like Jon Favreau and come up with much better ideas that fans could come up with.
Yeah, that's the difference too, is you got someone who's a fan first, and Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau being fans before they were ever hired to do any Star Wars. That makes a lot of difference. A lot of difference. But yeah, I'm with you on the prequels, because I think my kids are probably about the same age as you, Crit. And they loved the prequels. And I really liked the first one. Attack of the Clones was okay. Definitely at the bottom of my list. But then Revenge of the Sith came out, and it was just like, what? Mind blown. Best fight scene ever in a Star Wars movie.
Yep. Yep. And yeah, Revenge of the Sith was the pinnacle. Like seeing that Venator going across, and then the Mustafar, and just Darth Vader's turn. Ooh, me as a kid.
Yeah.
They could have even done Force Ghosts reunion. They didn't. So.
Yeah. So many lost opportunities in the sequels. But there's people that like them, so yeah, it is what it is. I always liked the prequels. I'm an OT person because that's what I grew up with was the OT. But I love the sequels too. I mean, the prequels. Damn. I do not like the sequels.
Nope. I like The Force Awakens at first. I thought it built good ideas that could. And The Last Jedi looked good in the trailers, but that's marketing.
Of course, that was the trailer. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember people said, "Oh, they should get Rian Johnson to direct Episode 9." Yeah, that was a couple months before The Last Jedi came out.
Yeah.
Afterwards, nope, keep that.
That's a hard no there, sir.
Keep that man away from anything Star Wars related. His Knives Out though is a good movie. I like that movie. Just anything that is Star Wars related, keep him away. I don't care about his trilogy. No. The Force Awakens is nothing but a remake of A New Hope, but you can admit it set up stuff that could have been developed. It set up Rey. It set up Kylo, even though it set up his conflict with Han. It set up Finn. They wasted it all.
It set up Poe.
It set up Poe. What did they do? They and they set up Luke. Luke could have trained Rey. It actually trained her in the Jedi arts, and he could have been the same too. He could have been like, "I'm done with the Jedi stuff. I don't want to help." But he could have been like, "Okay, I'll train you. Then you leave me alone." Instead, they made him worse than what they could. They made him just mean and cruel, and then he tried to kill his son in his sleep. Luke would never do that.
I'm hoping.
Never.
No. And they had the opportunity to fix that all after the Yoda scene. I like the Yoda scene. It's the best scene in the sequels, probably. But after the Yoda scene, they just make it worse by having him Zoom call into the last battle. And it's a good battle. It looks awesome. The final battle, hate that movie. The final battle looks cool as shit. But there's no payoff. It's just, acrobatics. And then he's trolling he's not helping his his nephew. He's just he's not doing anything.
Basically, he's doing a Dark Helmet from Spaceballs. Or a no. Sitting there holding his head, letting him swing his lightsaber at him, just holding his head away from him.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Maybe use the Swartz, the Zoom call.
And no lube either.
Yeah.
Nope.
I was getting ready to say no lube.
It's always good to keep a squirty tube of lube on you.
Or at least a little bit of lotion.
They're not going to retcon the sequels. I know many people are wishing no. They already the Rey. You can keep the sequel characters for their Disney parks or whatever. How many $1,000 you want to go at their hotel room?
Breaking 2 electric boogaloo.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Rey and Kylo Ren can tuck you in the bed for how much you pay for that Disney hotel.
Right.
Dude, I saw that from the moment that chick was hired on to be in that movie with him. I was like, yep, she's taking it over.
No.
As soon as they said her name.
I think that's clickbait just to rile people. I don't believe it. The Daily Mail is the information that comes from that is the Daily Mail. Harrison Ford has said when he dies, Indiana Jones dies. So you think he's gonna let Lucasfilm? You think he's also a producer on the movie? I think executive. You think he's gonna let Lucasfilm dictate what Indiana Jane is going to do? He's trolling.
Yeah.
Average. You sparked the beast. Yeah, you sparked the beast.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was getting ready to say, we need to, one of our mods suspend Average because that comment is uncalled for.
What are you talking about? You're a mod.
Yeah,
You
but
can
I'm
do
not
that.
on my phone.
You don't have to be on your phone. Just open a new tab in the live stream.
Well, then it'll mess up my stream that I'm doing now. I won't be able to hear y'all.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not insider, but I know some things about Indiana Jones 5.
Besides Harrison Ford breaking his arm.
So what happens in Indiana Jones 5 is that Indiana Jones is at the end of it's sort of like the end of his career, but time is sort of catching up on him, and I think it's going to be where he you know how he went for the Holy Grail.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Crit.
Average.
Average. You know, Average seems like the type that would like the holiday special, though.
No.
Houdini.
Yeah.
Okay, Crit, go ahead. Crit, go ahead. Sorry.
I can't. What Phoebe is playing is this is where I think they're saying she's taking over, and I think that's that's just trying to rile you guys up in EBN. I've tried to say, don't let this crap rile you up, because this is exactly what they want you to do.
That's not riling me up at all.
I've heard from a source that she's Brody's granddaughter, and his son. I don't think Indy's son would ever be interested in his line of work. He may be dead because it's set during Vietnam and could have been set to Vietnam.
Right.
But,
well, I mean, if they do it right, it won't be a problem. But the fact is, Hollywood's pulling all this woke bullshit and has been for a while, bringing in women to take over men's characters and taking the men characters and turn them into some kind of floofy trans thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, stop fucking with our shit.
Yeah.
And
leave our good men characters as our good men
if
characters.
If they do this, I will
Dave came out for a second. I'm sorry. Go ahead, buddy.
If they do a couple things in Indiana Jones 5, I will facepalm. Indiana Jones is trying to figure out something, but the girl figures out before him and thinks, well, Indiana Jones, you're old. And you're a man, so I'll hate that because that's been done to death in bazillion movies. She takes more of a main role in Indiana Jones. This is where I think people are getting mad. If they make her Indiana Jones sort of just sits back and she's doing all the work, I don't think I'll like that.
I just want to hear him tell her to go make him a sandwich.
But what I think's going to happen is at the end of the movie, he's going to stop his adventures. He's going to come to a decision like it's over. The Indiana Jones is over. But I do think he's going to give his hat to her. He's going to give the hat to her.
They got to have the one side of their hair buzzed though.
Yeah, buzzed. Oh yeah.
Oh, Lord.
They got to have that. Otherwise, it don't work.
Let's see.
And it has to be blue.
Let's see. He-Man, Star Wars: The High Republic. What else? Star Wars Hunters. Cyberpunk makes sense. Oh yeah. She got to shave her head. It's the phase, Henry Jones.
I mean, it's in the 60s and 70s, so it's the end of the hippie era.
Why would Ewoks be trans? Look at you. Yum yum.
Oh.
No, it's more like yum num. With the, with my voice, with Ewok with tits.
Oh, yeah.
Yum num 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 num.
Wicket Wicket
Yeah.
walks into his son streaming in lingerie.
Yum nub, aku tack tack. If I don't get man, there's some scene with Wedge doing the nasty with X-Wing towards human love like that'd probably be on the holodeck of Star Wars Part 4 or Star Trek Part 4. See, I haven't fucked that up.
Star
Lord.
Trek, Picard.
No, Part 4.
We don't talk about Picard or Discovery.
No.
Or any
It's
of
not
it.
Picard.
Or
It's
lower decks.
Picard.
If you want to watch Picard or know anything about Picard, watch Star Trek: The Next Generation or the movies.
Yes.
Yep.
But if you want to watch really good Star Trek, go with the originals. Or Deep Space Nine.
Or
Dude,
yeah,
what I
Space
tell
Nine.
you, stop doing speed.
TNG and DS9 are my favorite. I'm not a fan of the whole Kirk stuff. The movies, though, I'm a fan of. But the whole, it's too old for me.
See,
So-
I could not get into the original Star Trek because of my cousin. He was an absolute pricklord to me growing up, and he loved Star Trek, so therefore I hated it. It wasn't until after the first Star Trek movie that I actually liked them.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 79, and yeah, I couldn't watch it. I mean, sometimes it's still hard to watch it just because he was such a dick.
Well, I told y'all about what my son did, right? Daryl, did I tell you? Lord Crit, you might not have heard this one, but
What's up?
my son has been, since he was 4 years old, he has absolutely loved Star Wars. So I tried to introduce him when he was about 8 or 9 to Star Trek. And of course, I started with the originals. And he got pissed off and he says, no, this is nothing but a ripoff of Star Wars. And I said, well, son, this came out way before Star Wars did. And he said, oh, I don't care. It's still a ripoff.
Never. I'll suggest this. The old show is not for. I think it's sorry fans of Star Trek. I'm a big Star Trek fan too, but the original '60s show is sort of out of date. If you want to introduce the kids to Kirk and Picard, they need to watch Wrath of Khan first.
Yeah.
Don't show them the motion picture because that will bore them to death, and they'll
Yeah.
give up on it.
The Wrath of Khan, yeah.
I got into Star Trek when I watched The Wrath of Khan, and then I watched TNG, and then I watched. I like the Kirk crew more because I watched the movies, but I'm not a fan of the TV show from the '60s, so it's kind of weird. But
Well, see, I watched the original because it was in syndication and my mom watched it. And of course, TNG was of my generation. So I watched that because that was what was out when I was growing up. That's
my.
a beautiful Picard face.
He looks like a Muppet from Canada.
But I also
Engage.
I like Deep Space Nine. That's really good. And
See,
what's the other one? Voyager?
that right there,
Voyager
Sigmara.
is good too.
Sekmara, why didn't Kirk end up with space herpes? That's what I want.
Right?
He have some kind of space VD because he was putting his dick in everything.
I have Kirk.
Sure was.
Oh, Jesus Christ! That's
Oh.
not mirror fuel.
That is scary.
I must tell you that I have chlamydia. Space
Why do the X-wings rock back and forth? Because they was getting busy.
busy.
Chicks dig X-wings, man. That's
you know how airplanes rock back and forth? I would just imagine the same thing.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Instead of the Mile High Club, was the Galactic Club.
Galactic.
And Bones has no cure for everything. Or has a cure for everything, rather.
That he does.
Right? Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He must. He must.
He's like, Bones, what do I have? God damn it, Jim! I'm a doctor, not a sex therapist.
I got a question for Phil. Are you trying to like get into a boxing match with X-Wing, you know?
Well, that's because they were more stable. The Y-Wing guys, they didn't get laid.
They were more stable, you know?
Let's see, fell in love with TOS because it came on when I was 11. It's much better than Lost in Space. Dude, I'm with you. Lost in Space was good. That was my deal. And looking at the graphics of the time and everything, it was pretty much the same visual effects as far as that goes. And
Oh my God.
watching it later, yeah, it was better than Lost in Space because Lost in Space was them just running around in circles all the time.
Lost in Space was,
And
kiddie show, whereas Star Trek was for intellectuals types.
Sly. Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Oh, gosh. That was a scary face.
Yo, Adrian.
I don't.
Yo, Adrian.
Yeah. Yeah, but Dr. Smith off of Lost in Space always reminded me of C-3PO. Running around, we're doomed, we're doomed.
Oh, he was the villain before he became. If you want a really bad sci-fi movie, watch the Lost in Space movie with Gary Oldman.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love good bad movie. Yeah, I love a good bad movie.
Too.
Oh,
it was terrible.
It's a good bad movie. It's a good bad movie. It's
freaking Joey from Friends. How you doing?
And that goes back to what we were talking about before too, Daryl. Fucking Gary Oldman. Is there any role that man cannot play?
Nope.
Dude, he's like a chameleon. He can play any. Loved him as Bram Stoker's Dracula. Absolutely loved him.
My all-time number one favorite movie, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Yep.
Even with Keanu Reeves' terrible English accent. But I know where the bastard sleeps, dude.
Whoa. Yo, Mina.
Whoa.
There's a Dracula vampire. I'm a British man. Oh.
Yep. C-3PO is Dr. Smith. Oh, dude, yeah. That spotter thing he became, that was so killer. I am a goat.
Leonidas? Gary Oldman was Leonidas. This is madness.
I don't care what anybody says. There's no role that exists that Gary Oldman couldn't play.
Yeah, I love him in Sirius Black too.
All over the place. He is just fantastic in everything that he does.
Yes. Absolutely, he is. Oh, excuse me. Well, I need another refill. I'll be right back.
Hey, thanks, Catman.
He was he was Sirius Black in Harry Potter.
Yep. And that is all-time number. I love that movie so much. My cousin, who is here in the chat, Robin is my cousin, bought me the book that was the script of it, and I read it, and I've watched the movie so many times. I know every single line of that movie still today, and I haven't watched it in like a year, so I got to watch it, especially in October. And the English parts, the Romanian parts, all of it, I know every damn word, and the way it's said and everything. I have been completely obsessed with that movie since it came out. Love it. Love it. Love it. So what's your favorite movie, Crit?
My favorite movie is Spielberg's Jurassic Park from 1993.
The first one.
I grew up with that movie, and I know everything about it. I'm more of a Jurassic Park fan than a Star Wars fan. But man, if you asked, I read the novel like a gazillion times. If you asked me anything about Jurassic Park, I'll probably answer it.
Mm-hmm.
The Jurassic World movies are trash.
I liked the first one.
The first one's okay. The second one
Yeah.
is an abomination.
Mhm.
And then they added politics and
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah,
so
it got cringe.
boring, so boring and bad, so boring. Then
So,
they had
second
could
favorite movie.
second favorite movie, Spielberg's Jaws.
Really?
Yeah, that's a
My
ask me.
yeah,
You can,
my second favorite is Empire Strikes Back.
yes, Empire is in my top 5, and then Revenge of the Sith it comes after that.
Mm-hmm. Same for me.
Yep.
Same for me.
I was disappointed because my cousins they came over and they're like young. I showed them Jaws and I'm always captivated about that movie. But then near the end of the movie, they're like, "Oh, why does the shark look fake?"
Really?
I was scared of the shark. Really?
I don't know anybody that wasn't scared of that shark, especially when that movie was still new. Everybody was scared of that damn shark.
Are these kids so used to their Fortnite that they're gonna bash on the movie because the shark? And this was at the very end. They're like,
Mm-hmm.
this is the very end where they show the shark for like fully in.
That's because that's the only time they could get the damn thing to work.
Yeah.
Right.
There was a scary. So when the kid
Mhm.
dies, they were going to have the shark come out of the water and bite the shark and pull the kid down. There is actually set photos, and they're looking scary, but it could never look right. But in the movie, you could still see the shark pulled the kid into the water. And
Yeah, you saw his fins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was that scared me so much. I didn't go into a body of water, not even a swimming pool, for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I love the water. Oh, I love the water. When I was 2 years old, my parents took us all to a swimming pool. I can barely walk. My dad set me down, and I made a beeline for the deep end and jumped in. Sank straight to the bottom like a rock, and my dad had to dive in and get me out. He brought me out of the water, and I was laughing my ass off.
Mm-hmm.
I've always loved the water. I don't know what it is, but I mean, I guess I was born to be a beach bum. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jaws is, in my opinion, even though Jurassic Park is my favorite movie of all time, Jaws is the greatest thriller ever made.
Mm-hmm.
yes,
It even surpasses Jurassic Park, but Jurassic Park's still my number one favorite.
Mm-hmm.
hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I didn't, want to go into swimming pools. And then in the 80s came out the movie Alligator, which an alligator was in a swimming pool.
I've seen that one.
What a B movie that was.
And then the shark was destroying buildings and
Mm-hmm.
What did I miss?
sharing my screen. I wanted to show what they cut out of.
Oh, okay.
There you
You
go.
got it, Daryl?
Oh,
So this is what they cut out of the movie because it was too gory, and the shark, you could see the shark too clearly, but that's what it looked like. And that gives me nightmares.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
No shite. man.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
oh,
Yeah. That's still scary.
yeah. Yeah, and get this. After my dad shows me Star Wars in 77, in 79, he takes me to the theater to see Alien. I'm 8 years old. Alien.
Mm.
You talk about screwing a kid up. I had nightmares for weeks. My dad was sitting there just laughing his ass off. And I'm just sitting there going, ah. because it's like that was the creepiest crap I had ever seen in my life. I mean, I had seen the B movies and stuff like that of the 50s and 60s, Swamp
Mhm.
Thing and Creature from the Black Lagoon and all that stuff. Not Swamp Thing, but I know what I meant. Just go with it.
All of those
Uh,
good movies.
yeah,
So there's a new
Ryan.
name I haven't seen before.
Exactly. I was just looking at that.
The-
Ryan John
Mhm.
Channel, welcome. First time seeing you
Welcome.
here. Appreciate you being here, man.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, what do you think of Dave Filoni? Dave Filoni is a great visionary for Star Wars. He's closest to George Lucas, and the fact that he's helped in the Mandalorian.
Sorry, I had to respond to that. Carry on.
But I know this is blasphemy, but I've noticed things, and I agree with them. I think he is doing a little too much retconning of some things from. He's sort of he's retcon. He's taken stuff from the EU and putting it in the canon, and that's fine. But in the process, he's retconning some things. They are retconning, I think, a little too much. I don't like the idea of Kenobi where he's gonna face Vader off again. It's gonna be cool, but then the whole overall story is kind of, oh well, kind of. Then it makes a plot hole in the New Hope. But he's the best thing for Star Wars. Him and Jon Favreau. Keep Kathleen Kennedy and
Yeah. Oh, I'm with you, dude.
Oh yeah.
He is great for Star Wars. He's a good guy. However, he has had to not really bend the knee, but he had to do a curtsy to say something to keep his job. And that was at that women's conference that he said all that woke bullshit. I honestly
But
believe
see-
he had to do that to save his job.
See, I'm kind of opposite of what I love Dave Filoni. I think everything he's doing is great, along with Jon Favreau. We have to remember that they were both fans first. Daryl, I think that you were getting a drink when Crit and I were talking about it, but they were both fans first.
Yeah.
Before they were ever hired to do this Star Wars thing. And I have absolute faith in Filoni and Favreau. But I think what is misread about Filoni's speech in that women's conference is that he was playing to a specific crowd. When you are playing to a specific crowd, you're going to write and say and give a speech to what is fitting to that crowd. So his speech was in direct, it was for that audience. It was for those women. That's what those women wanted to hear. So I don't think it was to save anything. I don't think it was that he's a feminist or even leans that way.
No.
I don't think there's anything that Filoni has done that has not been fantastic. And as far as the retconning, I don't really mind anything that he's done because he is such a great writer and a great producer that it all fits and it all makes sense. Now, if he wasn't a good writer and it didn't fit and it didn't make sense, then I would bash it like the sequel trilogy. But it all fits and it's all, to me, I think it's all great so far. And until he does something else that I look at and I say, what the hell were you thinking, Filoni? Then I'll change my mind. But I think he's doing great.
Yeah, I agree with you, except for the fact that I agree with Crit that he's getting a little too footloose and fancy free with the canon. Because he actually is decanonizing his own stuff at times.
Yep.
Or going against what he's already written. He's like screwing up the Clone Wars. So it's almost like he's forgetting because he's coming up with these cool ideas. And, as a Star Wars fan, I'm all up for cool ideas. Hey, Fives 26, how you doing, buddy?
So
what's up, Fives?
I brought this up to Coffee with Corban and X-Wing, but they have So we're going to talk about retconning, and we're going to. I'm going to bring this to Daryl and Arlena. They are doing some shady shit with the comics, and the comics is, even though I wish comics was its own canon, but I guess if it's in the comics, it's canon. So what they are doing is that they are changing. Lucas said you cannot change my movies.
Yep.
But what they are doing is they are changing they're not changing the movies themselves. They're changing the meanings between the movies. And what they did recently was, in the comics, they gave Luke a yellow lightsaber from the Jedi Temple. He has a yellow lightsaber now. It gets worse than that, but
I know I've heard this stuff.
Which comic book is this?
It's a new comic book that came out. He gets a
The
yellow
most recent?
lightsaber. Yeah, and it's his yellow's lightsaber before he builds his screen one.
And he blames Yoda for losing to Darth Vader.
I was gonna bring it up.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder, man. I'm sorry.
No, you brought it up. He blames Yoda because he lost to Vader in Empire Strikes Back. That Yoda didn't teach him enough.
It's because he laughed. You dumb shit.
I told this to Coffee with Corbin and the Matt Cave and the crew. They got riled up over it.
Yeah.
But probably the worst is that they brought back Kira. And I like Kira from the Han Solo movie. They brought her back. She fights Darth Vader and holds up against him.
Oh, bullshit.
No, she's not. She's a non-Force user. Just because she knows Maul's techniques doesn't mean she can. Are you trying to say that Vader, the strongest person in the galaxy, is having a problems fighting a woman?
A non-Force user?
And I'm sure she showed him how to fight.
Right?
Yeah, Vader didn't see it coming.
But see, the good thing about the comics is that nobody reads them. They're Marvel. Nobody reads that shit. Nobody is reading Marvel comics.
It's a Marvel. They're still putting out that shit. Sorry.
I agree.
No apologies.
I don't talk about stuff that makes me upset because I don't want to go off on a tirade because that's just not me. I'm a happy guy. I like to keep things positive. But man, when stuff like this comes out and goes against the grain of what's already been established, I want to go smash my face up against a tree until I die. It's just so stupid. It's like, why are you making this shit up now?
Yeah.
Why are you saying that Luke had a yellow lightsaber from the Jedi Temple, which we know he never went to? And
the Jedi Temple was destroyed.
Yeah, and he blames Yoda. Blames Yoda for losing in the fight when he's the one that said, I gotta go. My friends are in trouble, gotta go, bye. And Yoda kept telling him, don't fucking go.
Your training's not complete. Your training's not complete. Don't go.
You know what, Phil? I'm really trying.
hey, they're making him like the Last Jedi Luke, where he's a coward and he's a coward, and he
exactly.
blames others,
Yeah, they are. They're making him into, what was his name? Jake Skywalker.
I would love for you to force yourself to read a High Republic comic.
I will not, and you can't.
I tried not to read not the comics, but one of the first books, because I love Star Wars books. I've got a plethora of them, but I don't know that I have that many, but I have a pretty good collection.
I think I have like 63.
I tried really hard to read that first High Republic, and I could not get past chapter 2. I couldn't do it.
The synopsis made my stomach gurgle.
It was terrible.
I was reading the synopsis, and all of a sudden I had to go to the bathroom.
First of all, why do I care about somebody's sexual orientation in Star Wars? it's never been talked about. Why?
Uh,
I don't care. I
They-
want good stories about a galaxy far, far away to use in my imagination and see things in my head. I
Oh,
don't
wait, I'm
care
sorry, I
about
got
all
that
this other crap.
oh yeah, it's the same writer that did the Aftermath books, where the Imperial, the one that's the second after the Emperor when he dies, or whether he's gay, and then you have the Grand Admiral of the Imperial fleet who's black, and I'm like, well, what about Veers? What about Admiral Veers or General Veers?
Right?
You know, the hero of Hoth. Where did he go? Who
He got
are these new
destroyed.
characters? Why is the leader of the Empire a gay bad guy? I mean,
General Veers died on Hoth.
no, he got out. It says
His AT-AT was destroyed.
he left his AT-AT. It says in the canon that he got out.
Which canon? New canon or old canon?
Both canons, I think. Yeah.
Okay. If it's an old canon, I accept.
Yeah.
Yeah, Veer's
And I retract my statement.
You never hear about him again, though.
Yeah, it's
No,
funny because the
but-
guy who played General Veers also played Donovan in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
The guy that drank the Holy Grail and got what he got. He got what he deserved.
He
chose
poorly.
I remember I had an argument with this guy. You might know who he is, but he loves the High Republic, and he was trying to argue that Geode was a good character.
You
And
talking about Ben?
Ben?
Star Wars Timeline?
Wow. Maybe.
No, that's why I said that, because he raves about him. He raves about
And
him.
they're
We'll have him on the
trash.
channel one day.
They're
I
trash.
want to have like Star Wars Santa loves the sequels. I wanted to know why. He told us why, and it makes perfect sense. Even if it doesn't make sense, I don't care, because he found something in Star Wars to hold on to, and I'm all for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So if this
Santa. So did I interrupt you?
no, you're fine.
Oh, Santa has good reasons.
Yeah,
I heard that there's inconsistencies between Anakin and Darth Vader. What inconsistencies? Explain yourself. You don't explain it too well.
well, see, that's why I want to have him on, because he raves about the High Republic and how good it is, and I'm like, enlighten us. We've tried to read it, we can't. Give us the skinny. Give us the lowdown.
I talked with him and I said Geode would be a funny character in Guardians of the Galaxy, but this is Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Totally different. Maybe in the EU it would be funny too, but EU went all directions, and there was orcs that came to the galaxy. The Vong, there was orcs.
That was one thing. Go ahead.
Very stinky. Oh, you could go on. I was just finishing.
Now, that was one thing I wanted to touch on with Santa when he said when his friend was reading the EU books and Chewie got killed. I was like, yeah, that was Vector Prime, first book of the Vong series, New Jedi Order. It was just that crushed me like he was. No pun intended. For those of you who don't know, spoiler alert, Chewie was killed by a moon. It took a whole moon to kill Chewie.
Yep.
But he didn't die in vain. He sacrificed himself for Han and Leia's kids. So there was that. I mean, it was a justifiable death, and it was a good death, and by God, it hurt. As soon as he brought that up, my stomach did a backflip. I was like, oh God, I remember that. I don't like to think about it. It just, makes me want to vomit. I
tried rereading some EU books, The Truce of Baccarat, because I'm writing that show,
Yeah.
I like it, but it has a lot of bibble babble that's kind of outdated. But Hair of the Empire, solid. I met Timothy Zahn and got his autograph on my copy. So,
la-di-da.
And I praised it. And I
Right.
told him the sequels are trash and his were the true sequels. And he acknowledged it. So he knows.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, his books are the true sequels.
Oh, yeah.
Shit, what was I going to say?
I don't know.
Damn it, Dave. Quit screwing my head. Dave's wanting to come out so bad, and I'm just chill out and have your time later.
Suppressing him.
Yeah.
Suppress him.
Oh, well,
Dave's time is
just a-
tomorrow.
just a quick change of subject. I was wanting to answer somebody's question from earlier.
Mhm.
Let me find it. That right there, Sekmara. Did your parents take you to see The Exorcist? No. I got to watch that on a Saturday night in my living room alone in the dark.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. While my parents had divorced by then, and my mom was working late, and all my siblings were at their friend's house, so I was at home alone. And yeah, I was terrified. And back then, they didn't edit the movie for content; they just cut out the cuss words, but everything else stayed. So yeah, I was just like, I'm never sleeping again. Oh my God, I'm never sleeping again.
When I was in high school and we did testings, where basically after you're done testing, you do nothing for the rest of the day, I watched it on my phone on Netflix.
Oh. I need an old priest and a young priest.
Yeah, they've been showing the Amityville movies on TV here lately, and those are right up there with The Exorcist. Back then,
the original first one. That's the
Did you
best
see the
one.
remake with Ryan Reynolds?
No,
I think that's all. I don't
Yeah,
even think
it's good.
I think that's like the movies are kind of like not even true to the story.
No,
They're just horror movies. But you read the book, it's very scary. Read the book. So a lot of that stuff that happened to people are I believe them. I don't think it was exploited.
yeah, come to find out, the Amityville says it was based on a true story, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. It was all bullshit. Then it was again, then it wasn't. It's like, okay, just say this family went through a bunch of crap that they couldn't explain, so we elaborated on that. Just say that.
Yeah.
It's easy. People know you exaggerate in movies.
Like The Conjuring.
Yes, Conjuring was great. Love that movie.
That was such a good movie. Oh, it was so scary. Scared the crap out of my kids too.
I'm at the point now to where when I see scary stuff, I get excited and it makes me laugh. So it makes me question my mind. Like when I watched the remake of The Evil Dead, went to the theater. No shit. 2013, went to the theater, took my wife, went to see The Evil Dead, and all through that movie, every time somebody got killed, I was like, yeah. At the end, spoiler alert, at the end, when this chick put a chainsaw through this monster's head, my wife was like, oh. And I was just sitting up in my chair, almost standing going, yeah! Because that was some good shit right there. I don't know. That was good. I dig it.
That sounds like my reaction to stuff that's gory and stuff. Like I'm always like, yes, get it, kill him some more. And everybody is like, what the hell is wrong with you? I'm like, nothing. It's just good. He had a good death.
Mm-hmm. Anything that can make me do that, I was like, oh yeah, that was a good death. Like, okay. Side note: have you seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil?
No.
No.
You must. You both of you homework. Mm-mm. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. It's. Okay. Let me just put it this way. It's a play up on the 80s and 90s horror movies where kids go out in the woods to have a good time, and then these hillbillies or whatever locals come after them and kill them. Mm-hmm. It's a play on that, but not the way you expect.
Oh,
just
okay.
Be sure you pee before you watch that movie. I'll just put it that.
Or pause it when you have to pee. Don't miss anything.
Yes, that movie is absolutely worth it, and I love it. I'm actually going to watch it again tonight.
So Phil McCracken, I do remember Kiss meets the fan of the park because my dad's friend is a big fan of Kiss, and he has the Kiss pinball machine. He has all the Kiss memorabilia. He went to all the concerts. He had Kissology on disc, and he showed it to me and my dad, and we watched a very cheesy Kiss movie. So,
Hell yeah, good gory kill is super fun horror flick. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I love, and see that brings to mind. Here soon, I've got another channel that I'm going to start. I've already started the channel. Hadn't put anything on it yet, but it's going to be my horror channel. I got to say it that way. You started a horror channel, but you got OnlyFans or something?
oh,
No, believe me, you do not want to see this in a Speedo. I started a horror channel. So I'll be uploading, talking all horror, all genres, or not all genres, all horror from all decades. From the beginning of the movies, the original Frankenstein and the Mummy and all that stuff, all the way up to now. And thank you. And it's funny enough, it's the same name as my Discord, which is Derelict's Den. So that's going to be my horror channel. Hopefully, yes. $1 million OnlyFans. That's what Dad buys on burrito, guys. Dude, if I could make money doing that shit, believe me, I would. I've got a dad bod like my mother.
My iconic yawn.
Are we boring you so?
No.
All right.
I always know. The human centipede is gross. I'm not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
I think of
I
the
brought
South
that
Park
up one time.
Yeah, I know, and I was going to do the same thing I did to you then. I don't have a rolled up newspaper, but pretend I do. No.
No.
We do not discuss that movie.
No.
Nope.
But I'm really excited for tomorrow's show.
Oh, yeah.
I'm stoked. I've been trying to avoid bringing up any 80s movies because I know we're going to talk about that tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Because The Exorcist was in the 70s. Amityville was in the 70s. Oh, son of a bitch. Well, excuse me. I'll be right back. Phone call.
All right. Oh, wonderful. Oh, man. You done made me yawn, Crit.
Oh, I made you yawn.
That shit's contagious.
I can fix that. The sequels.
Cringe.
Finn. Yep, Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh gosh. Oh, so Crit, I had brought up the human centipede before,
No.
because we were talking about bad horror movies, and I brought it up, and that's what Daryl did to me. He hit me with his make-believe newspaper, but apparently Phil watched it. Phil, I'm so sorry, Phil. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, Rosemary's Baby. My chat keeps jumping. Sorry, y'all. Rosemary's Baby. That was good. That was good. Hey, Phil, I didn't. I said it was bad.
It was bad.
I said it was bad. Oh gosh. Yeah. Another good bad one is not as bad as the Human Centipede, okay? But it is still a pretty bad movie. I felt like I lost about 10 brain cells after I watched it. Was It Follows. Have you seen that one, Crit?
I have not.
Okay. It is a bad horror movie, but it's not nearly as bad as Human Centipede. It Follows. So if y'all haven't watched it, you got time just to watch a dumb, bad movie. It Follows is a good, bad, dumb horror flick to watch. Phil.
Nope.
Oh, Phil.
What are we talking about?
Bad horror flicks. And
Take care,
I'm trying
Rockers.
to click on this. Hold on.
Thanks for coming
Bye,
out.
Rockers.
Bye.
Bye.
I was telling him to watch It Follows. Have you seen that one, Daryl?
No, but I've seen that It's Alive 1 and 2.
No, It Follows is different.
Yeah, that's right. That's a movie you told me about a while back.
Yeah. Has anybody in the chat saw It Follows? Or am I the only moron here
I think you're the only
that
one.
watches bad horror flicks?
Sekmara saw it.
Yeah.
What are you saying, brother?
What are you saying, brother? You talking about horror movies? Don't trust her, brother. Trust in the Hulkamania.
Hulkamania running wild.
Hell yeah. Oh, well, I'm about to have to get off here. I got to let the dogs out. Bear is next to me, and he's farting like the wind, and I can't stand it no more.
Is it getting in your
believe-
mouth again?
Oh God, it already has. That's yes. That's the reason I'm glad I had my camera off, because he did it while I was on the phone, and I was just like, damn, you stink. Might make your head blow off. Woo! So anyway, you're logged in, so y'all can keep going if you want to.
Oh no, I got to get off.
Me on Daryl and Arlena.
Hey, thanks for coming on, Crit. Anytime, brother.
Yeah.
Glad to have you. It was fun.
Enjoyed the conversation, man.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Take care, buddy.
Bye.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today, seeing Star Wars Santa, talking to him, and then hanging out with us just to BS around the fire. Thank God we didn't catch on fire this time.
Yeah, right.
With
your dog farting, I'm glad you didn't light any matches with Bear's farts.
I have 7 large dogs and 5 chihuahuas. So I have a lot of animals. And that's not including the cats. I think I have 6 of those. Well, if I were to say my animals taken out of what we have, my animals would consist of 3. I would have 2 dogs and a cat. That's it. The kids, when they moved out, they had left their animals for us to take care of.
Of course.
Such a life we live. But you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. I love all these pains in my ass. Just like I do my kids. I love them. They're a pain in my ass, but I love them. So wouldn't have it any other way. So thank you all so much for staying here and hanging out with us. I appreciate it. Darth Arlene appreciates it, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Don't want to speak for you.
No, absolutely appreciate everyone being here as always. Make sure that everyone catches Mustaches on Mustafar tonight. And after Mustaches on Mustafar, we're going to head on over and watch X-Wing Friday Night Fright. Fight. Not fright. Fight.
Hopefully I'll be on there again, because I think I'm supposed to be a recurring character on that show. I'm not for certain, but it just, if Mrs. Derelict will permit me. So I'm just hoping hoping that works out, because I really enjoy it, because we get to kind of vent a little bit and play around and stuff. And I'm not running the show, so I get to kick back and relax, and it's a lot more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Dee Dee. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you all so much for hanging out and subscribing, guys. It's just been a lot of fun. We always have a lot of fun here. Hopefully y'all can make it back tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central, where we're going to talk about the 80s, and I'm sure that's going to go a long time. I think X-Wing's going to hop on with us and hang out for a while, because he's got the toy knowledge. I know toys from back then, but this dude, he's got the skinny on all of it. So
Yeah, he does.
what the hell, dude? You just now show up?
Really?
We've been going for
Really,
2.5
Fat
hours. Where the hell you
Steven?
been?
Oh, Fat Steven.
Oh, Mama Bear.
Mama
Bear
Bear
showed up
too. Oh.
Well, thank you
We
for
missed
dropping
you
by.
guys. Yeah.
Thank
Make
you,
sure you
Steven,
come tomorrow.
for stopping by. Appreciate it very much. Coffee on Korban is having mustaches on Mustafar. I think it's 7 p.m. Central, and then an hour later, 8 p.m. Central, X-Wing is having his Friday night fights, and I think I should be there. I hope. And tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central, we are having 80s. The whole decade, we're talking everything 80s. So please be sure and come on out and don't miss that. Let us see your smiling avatars, your burnt avatars, your gross avatars. We don't care. As long as you're in the chat, Dave will probably show up at some point.
Oh, I'm sure.
But anyway, thank you all so much. And we will see, I can't even talk anymore.
There's that damn English again.
I know. Stupid English. I got English and bad English, and bad English is making its point. So anyway, y'all have a great afternoon. I love you guys. Y'all take care. We will see y'all tomorrow.
Bye.